You're listening to episode 120, The 3 Best Ways to Measure Leadership. Welcome to the Boss Bitch Rising podcast. My name is Coach Kale Roberts and I am your host. I am a mindset and transformational coach with over 10 years of experience as an entrepreneur. I went from being homeless in 2016 to building a multiple six-figure online coaching business. I am passionate about those that I have the opportunity to serve, and so I'm grateful you're here. My coaching method combines science, spirituality, and strategy, which elicits powerful transformations, leading you to massive elevation in your success. I am the founder of the Collective Conscious Coaching Academy, Institute for coaches, mentors, leaders, guides, and healers. This is where I develop influential, heart-centered people. I share weekly episodes inside the Boss Bitch Rising podcast where I discuss subjects like psychology, the subconscious mind, human energetics, manifestation, business strategy, and more. I'm excited to hop into our next episode and I'm so grateful you're here. Now let's rise up. Welcome back, my love, to another episode of the Boss Bitch Rising podcast. As always, I'm so grateful you're here with me in today's episode. And today's episode is the 3 best ways to measure leadership. And we're going to be talking about things that actually surround integrity. And as you probably know by now, if you've been listening to this podcast or if you follow me on social media, I am just so passionate about the topics of leadership, communication, emotional intelligence, and how you can show up to be the authority in your space, but do it with integrity and with a heart. I find that so many leaders these days are so self-serving, and that's the reason why I'm so passionate about leadership. I'm so passionate about emotional intelligence. I'm so passionate about quality communication skills. Because when we really combined emotional intelligence and quality communication skills with our leadership style, we can go out and make a huge impact and influence in this world and all of the lives that we're passionate about serving. And so I want to share with you a free workshop that I'm hosting called Impact and Influence. This is a workshop centered around leaders, coaches, guides, healers, anyone who is in the leadership space that is looking to make a greater impact and influence in this world. This workshop is for you. This workshop is for leaders and entrepreneurs who are looking to develop their charisma, their leadership skills, and their influence, especially in the online space, to make a greater impact and influence in this world. And what you're going to learn inside of this workshop is how to build trust with your audience, how to make a massive impact through your message, how to develop the charisma of a high-level leader, how to attract aligned clients and customers effortlessly, and how to be naturally influential. If you want to be a part of this free workshop, please don't hesitate to sign up. It's completely free. There's other additional resources in there and some huge bonuses all inside of this free workshop. All you got to do to be a part of it is go to kaleroberts.com/links. That's LINKS, kaleroberts.com/links to enroll into this free workshop. Impact and influence. You don't want to miss it. All right, well, let's just hop right into the topic for today, which is the 3 best ways to measure leadership. Now, mind you, this is leadership with integrity. And I believe that all different types of people can actually become very successful leaders, but being a successful leader does take a few key qualities. People from different personality types, different emotional intelligence levels, different temperaments, different personal experiences, different professional backgrounds, all can become great leaders, and that they can lead quite differently yet still be successful. Now remember, if you've listened to past episodes, then you know that there's 10 different key types of leaders. You can be a coach, you could be a bureaucratic leader, you could be a transactional leader, you could be a caretaker. I mean, there's 10 different types. So knowing your leadership type can help you understand what category you fit into, therefore what key qualities you're aspiring to have, and then the individuals that you're leading and how to better best lead those particular individuals. Now, as well as these 10 different categories, there's niches in each category as well. So you can get even more specific. So knowing your leadership type can help you understand your leadership style, but then also knowing your niche very well can help you become the best leader possible. But no matter what, people from all different backgrounds, personality types, personal life experience, what have you, they can become professional leaders. Quality leadership skills can be developed, and that's the reason why I'm so passionate about talking about it, because of my own personal experience witnessing or even being a part of poor leadership, and just really identifying qualities and characteristics that leaders should aspire to have. And we want to talk about the 3 main qualities here in today's episode and how you can measure them to become a better leader. So let's start here first with clarity of thought and communication. As you know, I'm very passionate about emotional intelligence and quality communication skills. I personally believe that having a higher level of emotional intelligence and really understanding quality communication skills can make you more relatable. And the more relatable and relational you become, helps you become a more quality leader. Why? Because when you're relatable, the people that you're leading actually feel a sense of connection with you. They feel that you relate to them, they can relate to you, you share experiences, you share thoughts, you share values, what have you. Therefore, they're more likely to be influenced by you in a positive way. And then when you build quality relationships because you're relational, then you can also develop communities of people working cohesively together to get to a desired outcome. Now, understanding your values clearly and understanding your clear vision of what it is that you desire to achieve with being a leader, these things are very important because as we're gathering communities of people together, and these people might be very different in their own personal life experience, but maybe we're gathering, as the leader, we're gathering these individuals together to work cohesively towards that desired outcome. It's very important that we're very clear on our mission, what it is that we're going to accomplish, our vision, how we're going to get there, our values, what's important to us along the way, and clearly communicating. I say our communication should always be clear, kind, and constructive. Clear in the fact of what it is that we're trying to say, we're saying it like it is, and we're being kind in the process. Even if we're giving feedback, it's always constructive. That's the reason why we have clear, kind, constructive communication. So one of the biggest things that separates average leaders from great leaders is great leaders are able to think and communicate clearly. They can describe a vision of the future that will help compel the people that they're leading to work hard to achieve that desired outcome. And especially if you're leading employees, if you're overseeing employees, really becoming relatable and relational with especially employees is extremely important because they're working for somebody else's goal. They're working for somebody else's dream. So sometimes it can be really hard to get employees motivated to see the vision and to feel compelled to work hard to achieve that. So really painting a clear picture of what that defined outcome is and then how we're going to get there, but making the process relatable and relational is one of the best ways to get there. And I think Milo might agree with me there in the background. He wanted to say, hey, and he agrees. Really being clear with the people that you're leading, getting down to their level. And I find that doing that by asking questions, getting to know your people. One thing that I teach on the most is understanding people's validation language, also known as the love language. There's something that we miss with love languages. We think that's designated just for romantic relationships, but really that's how we like to feel validated, accepted, and appreciated. If you look at your love language, right, mine is acts of service and gifts. I love receiving small gifts, especially if I've done something great and if somebody wants to congratulate me, sending me flowers or a little box of chocolates, or I love these pens that you can find at Target, and it was one of those random purchases, but I'm obsessed with them. And one of my friends got me 2 of them. It was an out of nowhere, I'm proud of you gift. And she's like, I didn't know what to get you, but I knew you like these pens, so proud of you. And it's little things like that. It validated me so much. And doing that in a business sense, right? Taking that over into your leadership style can be huge. It can really make a deeper impact, and it's something easy. So, really understanding the individuals that you're leading, their love language, or if you want to call it their validation styles, can be really important. And it can be one of those little things that just gives you that extra little oomph as a leader that makes you memorable because you took the time to care. You took the time to see the individual as an individual, not just another moving part on your team that's helping, work to get this end goal accomplished. Seeing the individuals as people is huge. And you do that through clear communication, through thoughtfulness. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to lead this episode with number one, clarity of thought and communication, being thoughtful, being clear in your communication, being clear in your thought process. All of them are going to set you apart as a leader. All of them are going to make you recognized as a great leader. And all of them are going to allow you to have a deeper impact in the lives of those that you serve. Which actually leads us right into measurement number 2 about being a high-level leader is releasing your judgments about people. Great leaders have high intuition, and they have high intuition about people. I actually teach a lot about this intuitive leadership in my intuitive leadership course. This is a certification which will help you get tapped into your intuition, develop your leadership skills, and then how to combine the two in a leadership space to be more of an intuitive leader. So great leaders have great intuition about people, particularly when it comes to selecting people to give them the most strength, power, and responsibility within certain positions. Great leaders can recognize strengths and weaknesses within the individuals. They can help develop the weaknesses and pair people who have weak strengths or weak characteristics in certain aspects, pair them with the appropriate person that's going to help develop those weaknesses, and vice versa, right? You want to also feed into strengths and put people into positions where they're going to excel without overlooking their weaknesses. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of leaders make is they're only putting people into positions that are niche specific, the only one thing that they're really good at, and they're not helping to develop their weaknesses. If you want to develop a high-powered, high-level team that's underneath you, and you all are working cohesively together to get to this end goal, then you have to be speaking into and developing the weaknesses of those that you're serving, as well as giving them tasks that they're going to excel in because they are, naturally strong in those areas. So being able to see hidden potential in people and detect cases where there might be abilities that can be enhanced even more, and this person is going to really excel in this particular area, being able to see those two things is huge. It's a key component in really becoming a high-level intuitive leader. This also is really important, especially in hiring and promoting people, understanding when and where and to whom to delegate tasks to. When you become this intuitive leader, it really takes away kind of like the second guessing because one, you're trusting your intuition, two, you're really tapped in. Being a highly tapped in leader, because you're so connected not only to your intuition, but you've taken the time to develop relationships with those that you lead, is really like the juice, the sauce of leadership. Honestly, take it from me. I have made so many mistakes as a leader. In the beginning, I wasn't taking the appropriate time to really get to know my team and those that I was serving and leading. I was just doing it from a space that I thought they needed it, which was more ego-driven and not in an egotistical way. It was just, oh, I think this is what's best for you, instead of actually getting to know my team and getting to know those who I served. And, over the years in several different leadership positions, I saw that that was not an effective strategy. In fact, it was quite the opposite. It did quite the opposite of what I wanted it to do. And so I started learning more and more and more about leadership, and I knew what poor leadership looked and felt like, and, kind of how to stay away from those poor leadership qualities. But then there were just mediocre leadership qualities, and I didn't want to be a mediocre leader. So diving into these different aspects of quality leadership and then applying them, implementing them, getting feedback from my team and those that I serve has really made apparent to me that becoming a relational, intuitive leader that is relatable and builds those quality relationships through having powerful conversations is the greatest way to excel quickly in getting to your desired outcome, because now you're working as a team. You are all coming together with one goal in mind, having this really well working flow or movement within the team. Everyone can communicate openly, honestly, and clearly with one another without fear of judgment, without fear of ridicule, with the knowing that they will be supported in making mistakes, with the knowing that they're going to be supported along every aspect of the journey. Why? Because they have somebody that they can not only look up to, that they not only can rely on, but they know that they feel safe with. And these are all qualities in just not being a judgmental person, right? Really taking your ego out of it and knowing that at the end of the day, everyone is just trying their best. And some people need a little bit more compassion than others. Some people need a little bit more time than others. Some people need a little bit different communication than others. And really getting to know the individuals and creating a safe space where the individual can feel and be seen, heard, understood, and validated as that individual is going to create the space necessary for maximum growth. So, of course, this brings us into point number 3, which is our third measurement for high-level leadership, and that is personal integrity and commitment. Great leaders have exceptional personal integrity and are committed to their mission. And they're committed so much to their mission because they understand what's important to them, which is their core values. Integrity means standing for something. And I actually have had this saying in my life since high school. Part of my high school yearbook, I put a quote, and I believe it's by Malcolm X, and I've probably quoted this a million times on this podcast now, but it's a quote that says, "Stand for something or fall for anything." I've seen it quoted by multiple people, but I quoted it from Malcolm X in my yearbook. I think I've seen it, quoted by Maya Angelou and a few other people. But stand for something or fall for anything. Leaders know what they're standing for. They know the value and the meaning behind what they're standing for. Integrity means standing for something meaningful beyond just yourself. Okay, this is a thing that separates true leaders from influencers or dictators or managers. A lot of people get leadership confused with these other terms that I just used, because true leadership is leadership of integrity. True leadership is being able to see the bigger picture and lead effectively the different individuals in a way that's not harmful, in a way that's not suppressive, in a way that doesn't overshadow or overpower the others. It really actually enhances the totality of everybody, right? It enhances our strengths. It develops our weaknesses. It allows us to be seen as the individual, the authentic individual that we truly are. And it allows us to be ourselves and to continue to grow in the process towards getting to that desired outcome. So true leaders are able to see a picture bigger than just themselves, beyond just themselves. And they're able to motivate others beyond just their own personal interests. In fact, great leaders can set aside their personal interest to do the right thing, to do what's for the greater good of all. And how hard is that for us sometimes, right? How many times have we been in a position where we could get what we wanted, but it would put somebody else at a disadvantage, or it would step over somebody else, or overshadow somebody else, or take from somebody else? How many times in our life have we been in positions where that has been available to us? And then how many times have we taken that privilege, that advantage, we'll call it? I don't believe that quality leaders step on others to continue to grow or build or move up the ladder. I don't think that's what leadership is. In fact, I think that's the opposite of leadership. And I want us to move away from viewing individuals who do this on a regular basis, and this is a part of their character. I want us to move away from seeing them as leaders and seeing them for what they truly are, right? Whether it's a dictator, a manager, an influencer, or whatever else it is. A leader is not self-serving. A leader is a servant of the people. They just might have more developed skills or strengths, a bigger vision, an ability to motivate people, to help develop and encourage others, whatever it might be. Leaders are able to organize groups of individuals to get to this greater good, to get to this greater outcome. And they're willing to sacrifice some of their own personal interests in order to get there. Beyond putting in the time, great leaders make their work into a life mission. And this is to inspire and influence others with integrity. They dive deep into personal development, and they find great fulfillment from leading people to achieve certain desired goals, dreams, missions. This is just me trying to convince you of how to be a high-level leader with integrity, because it really means being able to admit when you've made a mistake rather than acting like you're always right or you're super perfect and you never make a mistake, because we're all human. We make mistakes, and that's like one of the most challenging things is to like see somebody you're being led by make mistakes and then like act like they're not doing anything wrong. And whew, I don't want you to be that. I don't ever want to be that. So like knowing that it's cool to be human when you're relatable with the people and create relationships with the people that you're serving, this is going to actually be more meaningful with how you're able to lead them. Obviously, like there is a fine line between being the friend and the leader and understanding where that fine line is, but being able to lead effectively, be a leader with integrity really means that you're able to kind of fine tune your leadership style. It also means avoiding behaviors like favoritism, understanding how to have proper conflict resolution, avoiding your own personal interests all the time, and understanding what the greater good is for those that you serve. Really understanding what appropriate languaging is for the people that you serve. How are you going to talk to them, right? For me personally, just in the spaces that I've been in, I've always really struggled with combining my two personalities. And I really honestly feel like I have two personalities. I am, in one sense, like in my personal life, such a free spirit. I am so fun-loving, easygoing, wild, out there. I curse a lot. Obviously, the title of this podcast is the Boss Bitch Rising Podcast. Like my true friends, my really close inner circle gets to see that aspect of me, but they also see the professional side. And they ask me a lot. They're like, Kale, why don't you bring this Kale that we know? How come you don't bring that in more to your professional, life? And I think for such a long time, especially like being raised in the church, I always felt like there was supposed to be this one version of yourself that like 99.9% of people got, and then there was like the other aspect of yourself. And so I always felt like I had to filter and tailor my personality and tailor my communication and tailor how I showed up and how I dressed and how even my body language I felt like changed in certain spaces. And that is okay, right? We're multifaceted human beings. We're allowed to take on different personas in different situations, but really understanding what feels best for you. Because when I wasn't being my true authentic self, even in a leadership space, I just felt dry and boring. And now I'm able to, start to bring in this other aspect of who I am that my really close circle of friends gets to see. And I also am allowing myself the permission to feel safe in doing that, where for a long time I felt like people were going to judge me for using profanity in a professional space. But so many people use profanity and not very many people are offended by it nowadays. Obviously, knowing how much to use and when to use it is important, but tailoring or trying to tailor that aspect of myself made me hypercritical. And so bringing in your true authentic self into how you're leading and not feeling like you're above the people that you're leading, like in a sense, like create deep relationships, create relationships where you know the individual so you can be a better servant to them. You can better lead them. This is just also important in how you're building your leveled up leadership style. And Of course, I invite you in to impact and influence. This is my free online workshop. This is the workshop that is for leaders and entrepreneurs, especially in the online space, who are looking to develop their charisma, their leadership, and their influence to make a greater impact in this world. And inside this workshop, you're going to learn how to build trust with your audience. You're going to learn how to make a massive impact through your message. You're going to learn how to develop the charisma of a high-level leader. You're going to learn how to attract clients and customers effortlessly through being your true authentic self. And through this workshop, you're going to learn how to become naturally influential. So I really hope to see you there. It's really jam-packed full of amazing content. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be able to go and apply the learnings instantly. So to be a part of this free workshop, just go to my website, kaleroberts.com/links. You can sign up there, get all that learning in, go apply it right away, and then let me know what you thought of this free workshop. What did you learn? What were your key takeaways? And how can I make it better? How can I create a better impact and influence in your life? I would love to know. Let's get a conversation going. You can email me. You can DM me on Instagram. I am always here, ready to talk to you. But of course, my love, thank you so much for being here with me in today's episode. And until next week, my love. Thank you for joining me in today's episode. I am so grateful you are here with us today. If you loved today's episode, take a screenshot, share it on social media, and tag me in it, because not only do I love to feel all the love, but I also love to hear your feedback. I love connecting with my audience, so let's get connected on social media. Find me, I am the Kale Collective on Instagram and kale.collective on TikTok. I love sharing value as much as I can, so I would love to get connected with you more further. Until next time, my love, rise up.